Do you know how to schedule an email? If not, it is time you learned. And this is particularly important given that the right to disconnect legislation is now in place in Australia for larger organisations, coming next year for smaller organisations. It's also really crucial given we know the rates of burnout are through the roof. We know that our people do better work when they are well rested, and that means that they are able to disconnect from work and not feel the pressure to be in their inboxes well into the evenings. So, what role do we need to play here? As leaders, and I work with a lot of you, a lot of us do tend to jump into our inbox at night because it actually suits us. It is a time when we can catch up on our emails, or we get up really early in the morning and do that work before we get into our day. And guess what? I'm actually not telling you not to do that. I do that myself. It works for me. I'm my own boss. I am often doing emails out of normal work hours. And that's okay. But here's the thing, I send those emails out of work hours, but the recipient does not know that because I schedule it to arrive in that person's working time. And this is something I encourage you to do too. It's really simple. Pretty much all the email platforms have this capability. And if you don't know how to do it, you really do need to learn. If you are thinking to yourself, Leah, but I have that piece in my signature, on my email signature that says, I work flexibly, and while it suits me to send this email now, please don't respond until your normal working hours. And in the past, I thought that was enough too. And it's just really not. Because here's the thing, if you are a leader, you've got to be aware of power dynamics. If you are sending the email out of hours, regardless of what you're saying in your lovely little message at the end, regardless of what the right to disconnect legislation says, if you have someone in your team who is young, who is new, who is trying to make a great impression, trying to impress you as the leader, if you're sending emails out of hours, they are feeling implied or unintended pressure to respond, or that they'll be judged if they don't, or that you'll think better of them if they do. So, get out of the habit, model the behaviour you want to see, and schedule emails rather than send them out of hours. If you're thinking it's urgent, I've got to send it, should it be an email anyway? Maybe it should be a text message or a phone call. If you have a communication, leadership, self-management question you'd like answered, send it through and I'll do my best to answer it in a future episode. And keep your eyes out for an article on this topic on how to set better boundaries as a leader with your team in the wake of the right to disconnect laws. Cheers.